Hi, Tim. Welcome to training. So still we are focusing on the basics of Python, just a brush up like what we have been doing for a last couple of days. So by this time, you should be familiar with what is a variable. Are we good on the variable side? Okay.
Yes, sir.
So this is how we declare a variables. Okay. And there are some rules for creating the variables. This document I'll share. You need not worry. Okay. There are some reserved words which cannot be used for variables. Okay. And we have been discussing on the string data types, right? In the previous session, like we have discussed all the data types. In the previous session, we have discussed on the string data type. If you look at here, right, we are focused on the string part. Where is string? Where it should be there. Where it is. Like we have discussed on the string side, right? And how to access the elements inside a string and how to get a part of a string. Okay, this is what we have discussed. And we have also seen the list type. Okay, we have seen list, tuple, and dictionary, but we have not seen in detail. Today's session will focus on that part. And we have also seen what's an input function. To have this function is used to accept the input from the user. And then we have seen how to work on the decision making statement. Like whenever this condition is true, certain group of statements should be executed. Whenever the condition is false, then certain group of statements should be executed. This is what we have seen. Okay. Then we have seen loops, how to repeat a particular statement for a particular, how to repeat a statement for a particular number of times. So this is what we have seen. And we have seen how to work with for loop, while loop, and nested loops. And we have seen some basic programs and on this. Till here, we are good, right? Any questions? We are good, right? So there is a plan. I'm going according to the plan. You need to remember this sequence, and this document I'll share. You need not worry. So in my previous class, I talked about the list. Okay, but I didn't go much detail on the list. Today, we'll focus on the list and how to work on the list. So what did I teach in my previous session? Like basically, list, we can store similar elements of similar data type or different data type. Generally, it is separated by comma and it is enclosed within a square brackets. We can compare a list to an array. Okay. So whenever I'm saying an array in other programming languages, like basically array is used to store only similar data, similar elements, similar type of elements, whereas list, right, can even hold different type of element. Like this is how I create a list. Okay, just keep the heading as list. Just keep the heading as list. And this is what I've seen. We have seen, right? This is what is if else and what is nested if statement. Hope you have taken these diagrams, screenshots, or handwritten. Yes or no? You've taken these diagrams? Yes, no. While loop, how while loop works, how do while loop, diagram, concept, and example. These things are important. Did you make a note of this while loop, how while loops work? So while, whenever the condition is true, then B will get executed and it will end while. Until the condition is true, the statement B will execute. So whenever somebody asks you a question on while loop, right, this image should come in your mind. Then you will be in a position to answer this question. Okay. Yes or no? Any questions here? Okay. Did you make a note of this diagram? Okay. Now, just keep the heading as list. Okay. Just keep the heading as list. Look at here. So basically, this diagram, you'll not find it anywhere in any YouTube channel. You'll not find this diagram, and you'll also not find in any of the blogs or websites. Okay. I want to tell the concept in a very simple manner. Basically, you can compare a list with an array of objects. Here, you need to understand the differences between different compound data types. Like how do you differentiate between a list, tuple, dictionary, and a set? Okay. If you look at this statement, a list is like an array. The objects it stored are ordered sequentially in slot. What does it mean? Means it will maintain the order in which you are declaring the array. For example, the first element will be stored at whenever you're declaring, right, the order will be maintained. I'll elaborate this with examples and explain. So try to observe this. Okay. So whenever I'm declaring a list, for example, I've declared one list. Okay. So in 0th position, 1 will be there. In the first position, 3 will be there. In second position, 5 will be there. In third position, 7 will be there. That means it is similar to an array. Okay. A list will we can store elements of similar data type or different data type. It is similar to an array. But one thing you have to understand here is it stores the objects it stores are ordered sequentially. It will follow a sequential order. Okay. So the first element is stored at index 0, second element is stored at index 1, and third element is stored at index 2. Is this point clear? And the difference between an array and a list is once you declare an array concept is not there in Python, but if people already know C, C++, Java, right, it is easy for them to correlate. The size of the list can be increased or decreased whenever you want. That is the benefit of using a list. List can dynamically string and grow to any size. This is the second important point. So whenever they ask you in interview, right, you need to focus on this point. You need to say that list is similar to an array, but the objects are stored sequentially in a list. Second point you need to say is we can either increase the size of the list or decrease the size of the list. Okay. And this is how they are stored. This is the stack representation, like how the memory is allocated in this. This is first you take down this diagram. Okay. First you take down this diagram. Once you have completed this diagram, we'll see in detail. So are you done with this?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. First thing, so where the list is used, for example, examples where the list, for example, if you want to store like list of cricket players, okay, list of cricket players, okay, this is where you can use a list. Okay, for example, you are preparing, you are inviting your guest for a wedding, then you can prepare a guest list. Let's say you are preparing for a party and you can prepare a list of food items. This is how it is used in real time. Okay, a list of food items. Okay, and so on. So why should we go for a list? What are the characteristics? Like what are the characteristics of a list is? Okay, what are the characteristics of a list is? Values are ordered. They are in sequential order. Values are ordered. Like the first element is 0, second element is positioned at 1, third element is positioned at 3, and lists are mutable. What is the meaning of mutable? Any idea what is the meaning of mutable?
Changeable.
Changeable means you can change the values inside the list. Third point is it can hold any number of values. Okay, there is no restriction. It can hold any number of values. So next point is it can hold any number of values, and the final point is we can add, remove, and alter the values in the list. If you are able to project these points in the interview, right, this is more than a first thing you have to project like this. It is similar to an array, but the objects are stored in sequential order. And then if you are able to project these points, if you are able to project like it is mutable and there is no restriction on the number of elements in the list, and we can perform some add, remove, and alter operations, right? This is more than enough. And how do you identify a list? Okay, how do you know it is a list means you have to remember that the list is always placed in the square brackets. The list starts with an opening square brackets and ends with a closing square bracket. Okay, and every value or every element in the list is separated by a comma. Okay, for example, this is a list of odd numbers. Okay, make a note of this diagram. Make a note of this. You need not write all numbers from 1 to 59. Just write 5, 6 numbers. That is sufficient. Fine. So here, if you look at here, I'm creating a list. Okay, this is how I create a list. It starts with a square brackets, ends with a square bracket, and every element in the list is separated by comma. And if you want to access the elements in the list, you can use the index. Okay, if you want to access the elements in the list, you can use index. And if you want a particular values in the list, this is called as slicing. Okay, this is what we have seen, right? We'll elaborate bit detail. We'll elaborate a bit detail on this list. So what we'll do is like we'll try to create one cricket team. Okay, for example, I'm going to create a list like this is my list. Okay, so it will start with a square bracket, end with a square bracket. Okay, say I'll write Virat and whom we'll add in the team. Just be Hardik Pandya. You watch cricket, right? Yes or no?
No, sir.
You don't watch cricket. Okay. How many people know Rishabh Pant? Yes. You people know Rishabh Pant or not? He's a wicket keeper in Indian cricket team. Yes, no. Or we'll take what we need to take something which everybody is aware of. Like can we take hero names? Or are you okay with this one? I want to create a list of cricket players. Okay, for example, let's say I'm going to cricket like Pandya, Hardik Pandya. Okay, okay, I'll take famous names like Sachin Tendulkar. I'll take. Okay, and I'll take Rahul Dravid. Hope you are aware of these people or no? Okay,
Yes,
this
sir.
is my list. Okay, this is my list. This is how I create a list. And same thing, if I want to print the complete list, right? If I want to print the complete list, I need to give the name of the list. Now, okay. So this will give me the all the members in the list. This will give me the all the members in the list. And if I want a particular value, I can use index. Okay, let's say if I want the first element in the list, okay, I can use the index. And if I want, let's say from 1 to 3, 1, 2, 3. This is 0, 1, 2. Only these two will come because it will take n minus 1. Okay, just make a note of these things, and I think you already have written this. This is the output is Virat. Output is Virat. Here the output is. Here the output is Pant and Pandya. So this is what we know. Okay. Now let's say how many elements you have here? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 elements are there. Okay. Total there are four elements. Let's see if I'm trying to access the fourth element. It will print that value like starts at 0 and the last element is 4, right? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. It is printing Rahul. So suppose if I try to access the fifth element, which is not there. If I try to access the fifth element, which is not there, it will throw an error saying that index is out of range. Whatever value you are expecting, right? It is out of range. Okay. So this is how a list works. Okay. And if you want a particular value, you have to use index. If you want more than one value, right? This is the slicing you have to use. This will give you the number, whatever number you are specifying. It starts at 1 and ends at this index minus 1. Okay. And other thing is, this also we have seen, right? Like if you want from starting to end, first element star will give me from first element till the end. What are the element you are pressing? From 1 it will start, from 1 till end it will give you. 1 till end. If you want from last, if you are not specifying the first value and if you're specifying the last value, right? Last index to the from the first index, from the 0 index to last to the 4th index. In this case, it is 4th index position. See, it will start with Virat and it will take 1, 2 till 4 means 4 minus 1, 3. 1, 2, 0, 1, 2, 3 till Sachin it will print. So this is how we can get the part of a list.
So we have covered this, right, already?
Yes, sir. I'm coming. I'll tell. I'll tell. We have covered this, correct. So the next point is, if you want to update, if you want to update a particular value, let's say I want to update let's say punt with some other player. Okay, so what is the index of how to update the values? Update a list. So where is punt available? In 0 and first index is available. So whenever I want to update this, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to access that element using index. This is the first index. And now I'm going to update it with one more person, like Ishant Kishan. I'm going to update with Kishan. Now when I try to print the list, right? Now punt will be replaced with Kishan. Right here. See, punt has been replaced with, like before updation, what is the value, and after updation, what is the value. So we'll see. Okay, this is before updation. And this is after updation. Okay, so punt has, whenever you want to replace a particular, or whenever you want to update a list of a particular item, right? That's how we can do. And we can even delete a particular value in a list. So how to delete a list? Make use of a function called as del. Del is a function. And what value you want to delete? Let's say I want to delete Pandya. Pandya is available at location 2. Okay. So this is what I'm doing. I'm deleting this. So after deletion, right, you'll be having only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 elements, right? You'll be having only 4 elements. Look at here. See, I've removed Pandya and you get 4 elements. That means you need to understand that when you are working on a list, you can add elements to the list, or you can update also there. Update elements, and you can even alter. I have already written, right? We can add elements to the list or add values to the list, remove values from the list, and even alter the values from the list. And the next thing which you can do is, if you want to check a particular value is present in the list or not. Okay, if you want to check a particular value is present in the list or not, then we have to make use of a in operator. You have to make use of in. For example, I want to check whether my list contains Sachin or not. Okay. To verify a value in the list. Okay. If you want to verify a value in the list, so what you are going to do is, so I'm going to say, I'm going to use if operator, if case only. If what I want to verify, I want to check Sachin is there in my list or not. SACHIN. Sachin in cricketing. Okay. And I'm going to print yes. Okay. So if Sachin is there, it will print yes. If it's not there, it will print no. But this is how, so that means I'm making use of the in operator in order to verify whether a particular element is available in the list or not. So if I want to find out the number of elements in the list, to make use of the length function. Okay, this will tell me the number of elements available in the list. There are 4 elements in the list. Okay, and we can even find out a minimum and maximum value available in the list. For that, we'll take numbers. We'll take numbers. So I'm going to create one more list 1. So it starts with the square brackets and with the bracket. Let's say I'm giving values like 1, 2, 5, 10, some values I'm giving. Now I want to find out the maximum value in this list. Okay, where the advantages or the operations which we can perform with the list is, I want to find out the max. There is a method called as max. Okay, and you have to pass the list one. The maximum value in the list is 10, right? So it should print 10. I'm commenting till here. Okay, so this is how we can to verify the maximum value in the list. This is the method code to find max value in the list. Okay, and we also have something like min is also there. Let's okay, this will print the minimum value in the list. Okay, just make a note down till here, and we'll slowly increase the complexity. Okay, to find out the minimum value in the list. With output, you make a note of it. Okay, so that it will be easy for you to understand. I'll rerun the output once again. I'll rerun the output once again so that it will be easy. So this all you know, right? Write down from updating list. From here, you can make a note of it. Okay, is it clear? Any questions here? So we can add, alter, and delete.
Sir?
And we can find. Yeah, tell me.
Sir, if we given string in list, sir, if we want to find out the largest string in the list, how we can?
Largest means the length or the order. For example, if you have an element with starting with A and an element starting with C, then which is the largest? According to the ASCII value, C is the largest, right?
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, then the largest value, ideally it should print. Okay, let's see that whether it will print the largest value or not. So I'm going to take one more list. Okay, list 2. Let's say I'm going to take same value A.
Sir, in place of A, if we given names like that, sir.
Okay, we'll use names also.
Uh,
Please go on mute. And the E. Okay. Abhi, Bala, Chitra. Like this. Okay, we'll take like this. Let's see what it will print. It is taking the value is starting with Ishwar. Okay.
okay, sir.
And let's say the first value is both same. Like for example, you have one more Ishwar, but here let's say it is Z, like this it is there. Then it should consider this value because after E, S and Z will be compared, and since Z is greater, the value with Z should be printed. Let's see this. See, this is how it will perform. That is the reason why list is the most powerful data type available in Python. Is this clear what I'm talking? Want to make a note of it? Just write down from update the list. With outputs you write. Once you are completed, let me know. Done.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All this completed, minimum, maximum. In also to verify value in the list. So we can even convert completed, right?
Yes, sir.
No?
Yes.
Okay. So one more advantage is we can even convert a sequence. We can even convert a sequence. Sequence means All three are called a sequence, right? String, list, and tuple. Okay. We can even convert a sequence into a list. How to do that? For example, so I've taken a string. Automation UI automation I've taken. UI automation I've taken is equal to taken a value called as Selenium. Now I can, this is a string. I can convert a string into a list also. How to convert a string into a list? Just use the function. Here my variable is UI automation and use the function list. This will convert a string into a list. See, it is converted into a list. Okay. And you can even sort. You can even sort the list. Okay, you can even sort the list. What we'll do is we'll try to sort this list. And we need to assign one. Okay, sorting like a better to take the numbers so that it will be easy to understand rather than alphabet. So I'm taking one more value. And if you want to sort, you can make use of sort method. Sorted or sorted, some method sorted on. Yeah. Here you can pass the list one. It's already in sorted order, right? Let me update 12. Okay, and here I'll update 14. In place, I'll update. I'll remove 2 and 14, 15 would come 9. Like this, I'll update. And what is the before sorting? What is the value? And after sorting, what is the value? Okay, this is a not a sorted order. This is the sorted order. Are we good on this? Okay. And if you want to add a particular value to the list, right? So we can make use of the append method. This is sorting a list. To sort a list. In ascending order. The next one is to add an element to the list. So I'll print the list. I have to make use of append method. So list one dot append. I want to add an element called as 20. Okay, I've added this element and then I want to print that list. See, this is my initial list and I've added 20. And this is my, after adding a value, what is the list? Here what I'm doing, I'm only appending a value to the list. Okay, to append list with other list. Okay. So is this completed? We can convert a sequence to a list. Is this completed? And we can sort a list. Is this completed from line number 70 to 76? Yes, no?
Yes, sir.
And 79 to 81. Add an element to the list.
Done, sir.
So now what I'm doing is I already have one list. Okay. And now what I'm doing is I'm adding one more list, like list two. List two contains what is it, like three people, Bala, Rama, Shiva. All are in square brackets. Now you can even add these elements, all the elements to the list. So how to do my list one dot extend. And here I need to pass list two. Okay, and I can, before extending, what is the list, and after extending, what is the list. See, before extending, this is my list. After extension, this is the list. Means I can add two lists in one shot. Is this clear? Okay. And similarly, I can even remove an item from the list. For example, I want to remove Shiva. List one dot remove. But you should know the proper name. So Shiva will be removed. See, Shiva is removed from the list. So if you want to, I'll remove one more element. I'll remove 5. Okay, I'll remove 5 and I'll again print the list. Now 5 is also removed. See, 5 is also removed. If you want to see the removed list, what are the elements which have been removed? Dot pop. We have to use a method called as pop. Sorry, pop is like it will show you the last element. The purpose of the pop is to show the last element. It is a stack, right? I told you this list is based on a stack, right? Pop will remove the last element from the list. It will remove the last element from the list. Push is to insert, pop is to remove. To return, to verify last element. Verify last element in the list. Okay. Now I have list one. I'll take one more list. Okay, I'll take this one. Take one more list, list 3, and I want to print it in reverse order. Okay, I want to print it in a reverse order. List 3 dot reverse. Rama, it is printing. One second. List 3 dot reverse. Print actually once. Printing none. LIST is on there. There's a space.
Should it be in brackets? Sir? Reverse in bracket.
The method actually. Not in brackets. It's not applicable for numbers. Once again.
Not there. In print, which is go below. Yeah. Dot reverse. Brackets are empty, right?
Oh, here you are saying?
Yeah.
I don't think so. This is only correct. List dot reverse is only correct. See? Thing is not applicable for numbers. Taking a list and okay, got it. So it is applicable for numbers also. I'll tell you what mistake I've done. It is printing it, right? What we have done is we have directly written here. This will always give null. It will always give null. Okay. So after reversing, then only we have to print the values. Okay, for example, I've taken this value. This was my list, right? List 3. Now I need to say this 3 dot reverse. Now I need to print. Okay, it is printing in reverse order. What else we can do? Okay, this is the maximum things which we can perform on list. Okay, I'll iterate it once again. Okay, just make a note of it. It is separated by comma. It is in square bracket. It is similar to an array. Either you can store elements of similar data type or different data type. Basically, it follows the order, like in 0th position, first element, in first position, second element will be stored. It follows the stack order, like this. It follows the stack order. Okay. Next one is it is mutable. That is, values can be changed. Okay. If there is no restriction on the number of elements in the list, we can add, remove, and alter the values in the list. Okay. Till here, you know. Okay. And if you want to update on which position you want to update, you can update it using position. And if you want to delete, make use of a delete function. If you want to check whether a particular element is available in that list or not, we have to make use of the in function. And we can calculate the length of the list. You can find out the minimum maximum values in the list. We can even sort the list. Okay, where is sort minimum maximum? Okay, we can even sort the list and sort the list. We can even convert a sequence into a list. We can add elements to the list. We can add to list using extend. We can remove a value. Okay, using, if you know the number, or you can again remove through index. Oh, sorry, you can remove the list and you can find out the last element in the list and you can reverse this. This is a maximum operations which we can perform using list. Any question here? Yes, no? Did you make a note of this?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Was this topic covered earlier by the other faculty? Or you're listening for the
Yes,
first
sir.
time? Okay. Now, clear, right? Make a note of all the points, right? Till 98 it's completed, right? There is something called as list comprehension. Okay. Any idea what is list comprehension? I think people who said they already know Python, right? Any idea what is list comprehension? Yes.
No, sir.
Did anybody know what is list comprehension?
No,
No. See, I'll tell you one situation. Okay. For example, I have a list. For example, I have a list of fruits. So I'm creating a list fruits. Okay. So it starts with the square brackets, ends with a one, and every element, like I have apples, apple, comma, banana, comma, let's say cherry, comma, kiwi, comma, mango, comma, orange, comma, grapes. Like this, I have a list of fruits. I have a list of fruits. What I want to do is, I want to create a new list. Okay. I want to create a new list. The new list should contain fruits which has a letter A. That means apple should come, banana should come, cherry should not come because cherry is not having a letter A. Kiwi should come because kiwi should not come. Kiwi is not having a letter A. Mango should come because mango is having a letter A. Orange should come because orange is having a letter A. Grape should come. So how to do this? Yes, any idea how to do this? I want to create a new list which contains fruits and which is having A as one of the character in that fruit. Okay, for this we need to, what we need to, we need to loop through this list, right? Okay, we need to loop through this. So we have seen, right? We have seen a for loop. See, we have seen this is how we have done, right? We have seen a list. A list for element in the list. We want to print that list. First of all, I will take this. Okay. So what I want to do, I want to loop through fruits. First of all, I'll print each and every element. Okay, this will print all the elements from apple to grapes, it will print. But what I want is, I don't want all the fruits. I want to identify only when my A is available in element. If A in element, okay, if A in element, I don't want to print, right? I want to create a new list. So how to create a new list? I'm going to give the name of the list as new list. How to add elements to the list? Make use of append. How to add elements to the list? Make use of append keyword. new list will contain this element. Sorry, new list dot append. I need to declare this as a new list, right? It is a new list, contains empty values. What I need to append? I need to append this with this element. Okay, this is a new list. Finally, I need to print new list. Okay, this new list will contain the fruits which is having A in it, alphabet A in it. See, apple, banana, mango, orange, and grapes, right? Cherry and kiwi is the bottom. So, if list comprehension is not there, then we need to use a for loop, if loop, and then print the values. The same thing can be done in one line. New list 1 is equal to I'm going to create a list such that x, any value you can take, any variable you can take, x for x. In what? In which list? In which list I am comparing? I'm comparing with fruits. Okay. And the condition is if A in X. A in X, and I'm going to print the new list. See, it took how many lines here? 1, 2, 3, 4 lines has been created in one line. Okay. What do we mean by list comprehension is it offers, say, it is one of the method which offers a shorter syntax. Okay, you can eliminate using for loop and if loop. Whenever you want to filter a list, right, then you have to go with list comprehension. Are you able to follow what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Just make a note of it. I'll elaborate more on list comprehension tomorrow. This is one of the most important questions they'll ask. Have you used list comprehensions? Where have you applied?
Can you repeat that the meaning of list comprehension?
See, what I am doing is I'm eliminating for and if loop. For example, what I'm saying is I am creating a list from an existing list. Okay. So what I'm saying, x for x, I'm creating a list from how I'm saying from where I'm getting the new list. I'm getting the new list from fruits only. I'll get in such a way. I'll get a list in such a way only based on that condition. If A is available in that particular element. Let me elaborate. Let me elaborate more on this. For example, I'll give you one more example. Let's say I have a list. List 1 is equal to, let's say 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I want to create a new list which will contain squares of this list. So how to do that? I want to create a new list which contain square of this list. What you need to do is new list. Need to say new list 2 is a syntax. New list 2 x in list 1. Sorry, you can write a condition here. What I want to do, I need to multiply, right? Or I'll take, you can take any variable y into y list 1. How to declare y, right? Declare y. Okay, or we can declare x directly, x into x and list 1. I think there's one variable, I think. 1 second. Create any variable. Have a list 1 in list 1. Let's see, you can take any variable should come into T. And when I need to declare list like unresolved difference T. Water control. Say T is equal to 0. Not giving this value. Okay, it's breaking the list. Okay, fine. So let me elaborate. Take one more condition of doing it. Okay. Let me elaborate. In the syntax. But here, not this square list comprehension. Square list. We have to take only that number. Huh? Okay. Only that particular number. Take only that particular number. Is a new list. Numbers. Okay, fine. Next step, I'm taking a list 1. 2, 3, 4, 5. This is my list. And I'm taking one more list 3. Which is empty. Here it is empty. Now what I'm going to do is empty. This is nothing but a combination of. It is nothing but a combination of list 2 into list 2. Combination of list 2. I'm creating a list 2. Okay, it should be a variable. Okay. So what I've done, num into num from list 2. List 2. Num into num from list 2. List. Some keyword is in sorry, this is how I sorry. Let me copy this. I'll tell you, this is syntax, how it works. There is no logic here. We need to follow the syntax. For for list 2. Okay. For number in list 2. See, what I'm doing is list 3. How I'm going to build the list 3 is list 3 should contain the square of the each element. How do I get the square of this each element? That is, if I'm considering the a variable as a number to iterate through the list, so 2 should become 4, right? How 2 will become 4? That is num into num, right? 3 should become 9, right? Num into num. This one I'm iterating through this list for num in list. Now I'll print this. See, this is how we can do. If you don't have this, right, we need to again use a for loop, which we need to go through the all these statements and we need to print the value. So this is the syntax. It will have for and in these two keywords. Or you can use any condition, based on the condition, right? You need for see, basically it's an advanced concept. If you simply want to use for loop and if loop, right, you can use it. But if you want to print it in a single line, this is how you need to use. So how a new number will be formed? The new number will be formed based on, I'm considering every value as num in a list. I'm looping through it. And how I want it to be multiplied. If I want, let's say what I want. What else I can do? Like I want only to print even numbers. Let's say a third list, I want to print only even numbers. So how to do that list? List 4 is equal to, what is my condition? Num into num for num in list 3. Okay, for num in list 3. But when I'll print when num percentile 2 is equal to 0, I'll only consider a list of even numbers. Print list 3. This is the base list, right? Base list only we need to consider. Generate error. Num into num for each. 1 second. Take any other variable. Can be any variable. There's some syntax issues there. In fruits. Okay, for num into num in fruits, if condition num percentile 2 is equal to 0. Yeah, it is same only. Somewhere it is okay. Num into num list 4 is equal to num into num for each list. This is what I want to print. I want to calculate for number in list 2. Let's see whether this will print list 4 or not. It will print list 4, but on a condition that if condition as that if num percentile 2 is equal to 0. The first list is if you want to get the square of number. Second list is like only even numbers if you want to get. See, basically what I'm doing is I'm building the new list based on the existing list and conditions. So what is that condition? This is my list, right? I'm building a new list saying that it should be a square of the existing list, but I need to filter only even numbers. Okay. Just make a note of it. If you want, again, I'll explain in the next session. Is it clear? Any question? If you don't have this concept, if this comprehension concept is not available, then the same thing, how you have to do is, first of all, your new list would be, list 5 would be, how you are going to get the values in this list 5. You have to look through this list for each in list 2. Okay. And you need to append list 5 dot append what value you want to, each into each you have to append. Each. You need to append this list. And then finally you have to print list 5. Okay, on one condition. What is that condition? I will print only even numbers. See, either you have to use like this if you want to print the square of the numbers and only even number, or the same thing can be done here. So what I'm doing, I'll replace with num only. It will be very easy for you. See, this value, I'm replacing it here. For what? What is the condition is for each number in list. This is what I have, right? For each number in list, if condition. Same thing, I'm writing it in a single line. That's it. Same thing, I'm writing it in a single line. Still, you're not able to follow. We can discuss in the next session. Once you're completed, you can leave the session.